It took us a while. No, just in general, happy. I think spent a lot of time this week at just organizing everything, whether it was a build up, whether it was us out of possession. I think the organization was great today, both on and off the ball, and resulted in a shutout. I think Mia has been working so hard, and Mia and I we discussed it many times the shutout. So she was really eager to get the shutout, which she saw in the first half. She kept us in the game on that header, which we needed, and that just allowed us to keep on playing and being us.
And then 27 shots and 10 shots on goal are the stats after the game for you guys. Um, how can you practice to convert more of
Yeah.
those chances?
You answer the question yourself. What do you think I will be doing next week? I think next week will be just shooting sessions, finishing sessions. I think again last season the biggest issue was getting ourselves into those zones, and now today it was obvious that we were in that zone. We're all over that place. It's just the finishing elements. But I also think today our luck has turned in a good way. It was a bit silly that you have to do it on a PK, but whatever, I'll take it. I think just the efforts of doing it again and again and again, and even the second half, you kept on doing it, which just shows that this team wants it so badly.
And then CC has been very good for you guys for the first few games this season. What does it mean to have a player like her?
Yeah, I was just discussing it with Mariana, who's on the staff of Chicago, who was our previous assistant coach, and she said Cece's just a different person. Like how she's playing, what she's doing, how she's running, and it's been touching wood. It's been the longest streak of having Cece fit, healthy, and it just shows that when she's healthy and fit, this is the type of player she can be. She's thriving off a lot of confidence. She's showing up. PK was on her, so again, I think I just told her during halftime, like, look, just believe in yourself and keep on doing the same, and again and again and again. So was it a shock that the PK fall was on her? No, she just kept on getting herself into that zone, and you have to be there to get these kind of opportunities. So I'm just proud of her performances this far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You touched on the 27 shots. I remember the first 18 of them came in the first half. Uh, they only had two or something like that. You guys were just living in their offensive third. What was working so well where it felt like there was just energy and creativity and the rotations were going really well
Yeah,
early on in particular?
I just think we're very high on beating the first line of pressure, which we very early on in the game we started doing so easily. We just went wide, and the second you beat the first line of pressure, something needs to happen in the line beyond it, and that's what we saw so often. We went past the first winger, and then you saw that a fullback had to come out, or a centre back, or a midfielder, and I think we just rotated really well in those spaces that the opponent gave us today. Whether it was Chloe just punching the ball deep and running beyond it each and every time on Tatum's passes, whether it was Diana, who has played one of the best games I think this far, and also is really adapting to this league. Just know she's been in the country for 3 weeks. She's had in total 6 training sessions, 7 training sessions since she came in, and she's doing all of this. So you can only imagine if we get her up to speed physically, what kind of player she can be. So I think players really took joy in just rotating in and out of positions, and just again just having the ball. My speech before the game was, look, let's take everything we did over the past 3 weeks. Let's take that. Let's put it in our back pocket, and let's start building today on us in possession. And when you need that element in your back pocket, let's pull it out and give it. And let's go. And I think that's what we did in the last 10 minutes. Wasn't really surviving, but it was again we needed more fighting spirit, so we did it. I think this to me is a very important building block. Being us, being in possession, I think we had a big percentage of the ball today, and we also converted having the ball. So I think that's huge for us.
And I'm glad you mentioned the final 10 minutes because the last time you guys were here, um, you didn't close out the game quite as well as I'm sure you would have
Yeah.
liked. It seemed like the players really kind of took that to heart and they closed really well even after getting that penalty. I mean, obviously they were looking for another goal and just keeping up the pressure, attacking that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they learned something maybe from that home opener to where they
Yeah.
could close out a little better?
They're learning every day at the minute, and that's something I'm really proud of. Coming out of Boston, people might not like to hear it. I think Boston was one of our worst performances on the ball. I've never seen a team play like we played against Boston, but it was just surviving full 90 minutes. So the one thing we said again early on in this week was, look, Boston was not us. Well done, really well done. Don't make one mistake. Really well done. but we want to have the ball. We want to just possess it for the full 90. And I think that's what you saw today as well. I think we had two shots on goal in the last 9 minutes still. So it just shows that we keep on going. And the best way to shut down a game is just to score another goal. And I think that's what we did. And really proud of the impact players as well. Alexa Spansa coming in and just being going back and forth and really creating a lot of danger on that side. And I think that's what you want to have from impactors. So just overall, yeah, wanted to keep the 3 points home and just give something back to the fans who are coming out every week to see us.
And then just one more for me, because I feel like we need to bring up the goal scorer. It comes on the penalty kick, but what kind of confidence can this do for Mina? It's her second goal since she joined the team. She didn't join the team right away, but it feels like she's just bringing a little something extra, more creativity. Her passing has been really good, and she's obviously converting a couple of chances, which doesn't hurt, I'm sure.
No, you just know like she's probably one of your best players, if not one of your most talented players. So I think what you have to do as a coach is just finding a way of getting her on the ball, making her really the player that you want to get on the ball. And whether it was today, was it Kay Del Fava hitting diagonal balls into Mina, whether it was Diana combining with Mina. We just had a long conversation about like how do we get you on the ball, Mina? Like how do we? And her main element was look like we need to possess the ball longer. And I'll get myself into spaces and just kick it to me, and I'll just relieve the pressure. And that's what you saw today. I think again we're maximizing the potential of a Mina, of a CC, of a Chloe today, who in my opinion played one of her best games for us as a Utah Royal thus far, just being a threat on that whole wing the whole game. So we're seeing a lot of players just rising and getting confidence. So like it's been annoying that you have an international break now because I would have loved just keep on flying and just keep on going. But it's also good because you also know that Paige Cronin came on the pitch today and she just wants to be part of it. You have Narumi coming back, you have Nuria coming back, who we all know those three players by themselves are great in possession players. So it's how are we going to fit them in? How are we going to create that competition? I think that's something we're really looking forward to.
Jimmy, congratulations on the
Thank
win. From where I was standing, it looked like they didn't really have an answer for your press or for something that you've been emphasizing a lot is if the first press doesn't work, the second player has to come in and win it. And it seemed like every time it didn't work the first time, the second player did it. Is that how it felt to you? What did you make of the progress your team is making in your press?
If you look at Chicago, you have Sam Stapp who has a brilliant left foot. You have Henry who can put it wherever she wants. So our goal was really to stop it at source. And again, to your point, if the first one isn't working, the second one needs to step out. I think players like Ana Tejada, who is running more than she ever did and stepping out in the midfield just because she understands what she needs to do, I think that's just huge. But I think not a lot of teams will really be able to function under the pressure that we're giving them. And if you look at Houston, who is at the minute flying throughout the league as well, it's Houston and us that have the highest pressing rates, have the highest regains on the opponent's half. So it's just what we want to do as well. We just want to be slightly more an in possession team when we regain the ball, which I thought today looked really good. When we regained it, we actually kept the ball. We didn't give it away straight away. So yeah, just a lot of things to be proud of today.
And then the danger with that kind of plan can sometimes be that the back eight is a little unlocked. How does it feel for you to have Mia back there? You know, I guess on a team where your starting goalie isn't there for injury, how much of a luxury do you see it to have Mia back there able to step up?
Yeah. I think it's every coach his dream or her dream to just have someone ready whenever someone is not ready to play, and I think we have that now on several positions, from which the goalkeeper position as well. I think Mia is a developing player that needs to perform. I think that's a very, very hard situation to be in, but again, it's how much you want it and how much mental resilience you have. And I think she showed it again. She kept us in the game against Washington. Today she kept us in the game in the first half. And then I think in possession, again, she was confident. She was giving the right passes. I don't think there was one where I was doubting about what she was doing. So it's again like you're playing 11 against 10 if you have a goalie that dares to do that. And that was clear today. Once we got her on the ball, we had two fullbacks going high and they had no answer. So to us, it was key to get Mia on the ball as much as we could and get her very high. And we're even shouting a few times where we hit the ball around the midfield area, like really high up on, like Mia needs to come in between because that's going to bring a success. So it's having the confidence in the players you have, and they will thrive in their confidence. And Mia did today, but not only today, she's been doing it really well.